Chapcast!
Ho, ho, ho! Merry Chapmas, everybody. Hope that it makes you happy. Chapmas, to know that Chapmas has arrived.
Hello. Yes, here we are. December 8th, 2020, and I'm glad to say that today the first person, a little lady from Coventry, has been vaccinated against COVID-19. And everything seems sweet, and they're rolling the old vaccine out across the country. Not that I would get it for a while anyway, because I think you've got to be like over 90. I think it might be anyone over 90 getting vaccinated, and then it will come down. But it's a good day. Yeah, the 8th of December 2020. Yeah. And we're also close to the 40th anniversary of John Lennon's death. I'll tell you what, I pray to God that I'm not related to the fella that assassinated Lennon, because that is a person that we could do with in the world at the moment. I'll tell you that. The reason I'm saying I hope I'm not related to him is because the fella's name's Mark Chapman. Yeah, let down the Chapmans, you did, Mark. Yeah, so yeah, a day that will go down in history, I think. Okay, so here we are. Hello. Chapcast, episode 12. Xmas is upon us. And by the time you listen to this, it will be just after the old big day. Yeah, so alright, so let's get on with it. Last month we wrapped up things about the band, the Fever Dogs, the band that lasted 3 gigs, and then, well, you all heard last month how it came to a abrupt end. But yes, oh well. Anyway, so so the band finishes, crushed death, and then I am bandless once again. So it's another like 6-7 months of just sort of wishing I was in a band when I weren't, you know what I mean? Stayed pals with everyone apart from Nick, but if anyone was gonna start something new with me, it was gonna be Spugey, and it was Spugey. So 6 months had gone by, and it was just like, it was hurting me. And then to top things off, my good friend John Jones, aka Cookie, he started a band with another one of our pals, Paul LaHaye, and a geezer called Morgan playing the guitar. I think his name was Morgan. I hope his name was Morgan. Yeah, and a fella called Alex playing bass, and I've forgotten the drummer's name. He was a top drummer as well. He was a really good drummer. So anyway, they started this band, like, it was called Corova, and both Cookie and Paul LaHaye were both frontmen in this band. Like, so you imagine a band with two frontmen. It worked a little bit, I think, but it soon came to it didn't come to an end, actually. Cook just sort of like left the band, do you know what I mean? And then Paul took the band to higher heights. But anyway, we're not here to talk about them. But I was just saying, like Cookie, and I remember that they had a guy from Kentish Town, I can't fucking remember his name. He was their manager, and he had a house that was on my route home from work. And I can remember, like, a lot of the days they was sort of in his front room rehearsing, I can remember one day in particular, like, I was walking up Highgate Road away from Kentish Town towards where I lived, and I was in my UPS uniform and that, and it was a hot day. I can remember it. And then like as I approached where they was rehearsing all the time, like, I could see them all through the window, and obviously they had all the windows open because it was summer and that, and they was all like giving it some, and then I just ended up like climbing in the window of where they was rehearsing, and sitting down and just like having a beer and watching them rehearse a bit and that, and then I remember, like, when they was having their break, like, I would pick up Morgan's guitar and have a little bash on that, you know what I mean, and just think to myself, where's my band? Yeah, well, anyway, I was still speaking with Spug, and after the collapse of the Fever Dogs, and then we was like sort of like throwing ideas about saying, what if we started a new band and all that, and you half think, God, start a band, do all the work to get it up and running, and then will it like die the same death as the Fever Dogs, you know what I mean? But then again, the voice, sort of the four-phase voice, lasted forever, do you know what I mean? It had loads of different members in it, but it lasted forever. So anyway, so me and Spug throwing ideas about and that, and then we was like meeting up at my house and then going through tunes and that, like, 'cause we had a massive back catalogue of stuff, do you know what I mean, like, that had come from all the phases of the voice and the Fever Dogs, and then we was like writing bits and pieces or whatever. And then I can remember one day we was like, we was ready to start a band, you know what I mean, like, and we were sitting in the garden of a pub called the Tally-O, which is across the road from the Forum, now the HMV Forum in Kentish Town, and we were sitting there, beers at a table, loads of our friends, and we was like, right, that's it, we're doing it, we're going to find a bass player and we're going to find a drummer, and we're doing it, that's it. And we was like, what are we calling the band? And then I was like, the Tally, that is the one, because I suppose you could say that the first day that life kicked off for the old Tally was in the Tally Garden. So that pub's now gone. I hated that when they knocked that down, because that was like one of my most favourite places in the world. So anyway, right, we've got a name, we've got a lead vocalist sort of trying to be a rhythm guitarist as well, and then Spug trying to be a lead guitarist, if you like, and then so we're sitting there, like, and obviously there was like loads of our pals about and stuff, and we was like, right, who can we get to play bass? Who can we get to do drums? You know what I mean? And then Alex, I think his name's Alex Ashby. I'm terrible. I forget things all the time. You know what I mean? These people will probably be listening to this thinking, what, don't you even know my name? No, yeah. So Cook's bass player, Alex, I was chatting to him, like, and I was like, yeah, we want to get back up on the stage, you know what I mean? Like, we're going to start this new band called The Tally. but we're drummer-less and bass-less. Like, I was trying to actually get him to play in our band as well as Cook's band. I don't know if Cook knew that I was trying to do that, but yeah. And then he weren't up for two bands, and I can understand why, because, you know what I mean, you need to put effort into where, like, your main band, you know what I mean, like, playing for everyone, like, it's just nuts. But he did say to me, he said, well, do you know what, I know this fella, his name's Ed, and he's not like the most experienced drummer in the world, he's sort of starting out or whatever, but I know that he'd be up for joining you lot and doing something, seeing where it goes or whatever. And I was like, all right, sweet, you know what I mean? It ain't like we've got Keith Moon and Ginger Baker and Alan White banging on the door saying, yeah, we want to play drums for you. Yeah, so I was like, all right, sweet. I was like, yeah, give him my number and that, and I'll talk to him. And so he rang me and like, I was like, yeah, definitely, we need to like sort out a rehearsal room. But this fella Ed, he lived in like proper West London, you know what I mean? Like, so it at the time, like, the old minces were okay, and I was obviously driving for UPS, but I had my own motor as well. So we decided, like, me and Spug would jump in the motor and drive over to somewhere near Perryvale, just off the A40. I can't even, my head, I can't remember what it's called. It was quite a big studio. They had quite a lot of rooms and stuff, and like when you went in the rooms, there was like mirrors all on one side of the rehearsal space, you know what I mean? And I like that because I like to sing to myself. Yeah, but while, like, because I suppose it was like maybe 2 weeks after I chatted to him that we got the rehearsal booked. So in them 14 days between talking to Ed and having the rehearsal booked, I was just on it like Sonic, trying to find a bass player everywhere. That's just like all over the internet, all over, like, looking in Melody Maker, going down Denmark Street to there's like a board where people stick like little notices up saying, yeah, I'm joining a band, I'm this, I'm that, you know what I mean? And yeah, so I was searching everywhere, and then I come across this fella. His name was Chris, and didn't know nothing about him, whatever. I just basically told him, like, we had this rehearsal booked, and did he want to come and try out on bass with us, you know what I mean? He was like, yeah, definitely, mate. I said, all right, nice one. And he knew the studio and that, so we 14 days later we went to this studio, and basically Chris turned up, Ed was there, me and Spug all went in a room, you know what I mean? Like, Chris, it turned out that Chris was a little bit older than us, but it didn't matter, do you know what I mean? Like, I knew that we weren't gonna be doing fucking Nebworth in 6 months, you know what I mean? I knew that, like, I just love music, you know what I mean? And whoever wants to make music with me, you know what I mean, let's have it. So anyway, yeah, so we're in this room, like, and then Chris has got his bass, and like we're going through, obviously, like, a load of tunes that I've got written and played with other bands, and so yeah, we're getting a little set together and that, and yeah, so it's all going good. Like, the first rehearsal was pretty good. Then we was sort of rehearsing twice a week, you know what I mean? Ed, he weren't the greatest drummer in the world, but he was a trier, you know what I mean? Like, so I like that in a person, you know what I mean? Like, as long as you put your heart and guts into what you're doing, you know what I mean, then let's have it. Like, and yeah, so I mean, after, I don't know, like 10 or 15 rehearsals, I think we were sort of half could play a set, you know what I mean, like that might be good enough to get on a stage or whatever. Yeah, so and also during this time I've been promoting us big time to all our friends' friends, and you know what I mean, saying coming soon, the tally. Yeah, so once we was all ready and that, I think we played a couple of gigs that we didn't really tell anyone about, and so there weren't many people there. It was just sort of getting a bit of stage experience together and that, like, and then we did a show at the Purple Turtle in Camden Town, like down the bottom of Camden, where we didn't like shout it from the rooftops, but we sort of invited family members and close friends, and yeah, it was sort of a test, you know what I mean, to see like what's going to happen or whatever, you know what I mean, like, and yeah, so I've got this like tracks of this gig, you know what I mean, and let's go through them. So we kicked this gig off with a song that I wrote with Amon in Phase 1 voice, called Coming Down, slightly inspired by cocaine, but yeah. All right, so let's have a listen, and then we will have a chat and go from here. Okay, sweet.
Look to the stars, seeing where you're going. And I feel the heat now that you're coming, yeah. You're never gonna catch what you've been chasing. And slow it right down now, feeling, yeah. Since you're coming down, I seen your face. Now you're coming down, seen your face. Yeah, yeah. Look to the stars, see where you're going. And I feel the heat, now that you're coming, yeah. You're never gonna catch what you've been chasing. Slow it right down now, go by here, yeah. Since you're coming down, seen your face. Now you're coming down, seen your face, yeah, yeah. Coming down, seen your face. And you're coming down, seen your face. Yeah, yeah. Nice one. Thank you.
Yes, and that was Coming Down, played with the initial tally. Yeah, I've sort of jumped onto an electric guitar, but I'm playing it clean, and it just it don't sound right at all. Like I should have some sort of overdrive on that track, definitely. But yeah, we're learning. yeah, again, I mean, it's not phase free voice, you know what I mean? But all I know is I'm back up on the stage, and that is where I always want to be. All right, let's carry on with the gig. And so next up is a track called On My Mind. And this song is actually one of the first songs that I ever wrote on my own. You know what I mean? Like proper easy chords, E minor, G, D, A, and then C and D for the bridges. And then the chorus is the same as the verse. Yeah, simple stuff. Well, saying that, the best songs are written simply. But yeah, so let's have a listen to On My Mind and see how that comes out. All right, nice one, sweet.
And now she's gone, I'm so afraid. Until she gets back, that's when I feel safe. Yeah, safe. Ooh, safe. Yeah, safe. She calls me every night to make sure that I'm alright. Once she knows that I'm okay, she says stay to keep away from the tally ho. Yeah, the tally. Ooh, the tally. I'm missing her like mad. Now that she's gone, I'm sad. She's on my mind tonight, and I've got to put up the fight to bring her back where she belongs. There's no more holidays and no more songs for her, my sweet her. Yeah, her. Ooh, her. I'm missing her like mad. Now that she's gone, I'm sad. She's on my mind tonight, and I've got to put up the fight to bring her back where she belongs. There's no more holidays and no more songs for her, my sweet her. Thank you.
Yeah, that was On My Mind. As I say, that was one of the first tunes that I wrote on my own. Like, so I remember when I could finally throw a couple of chords together on the guitar, and I was just like sitting in my room, like thinking to myself, I don't need no person to write a song with anymore. I'm gonna do it all myself. You know what I mean? Like, but Yeah, I remember I wrote like it was like a batch of 3 or 4 songs, and On My Mind was one of them, and another one of them was a song called It's Free, which is probably the best track out of the 4 that I wrote around that time. And yes, that track is next in the set, so I will play that one for you next. I mean, you've probably all heard all of these different versions of these songs over the past 11 chapcasts that I've done, like, but yeah, this is live. Purple Turtle, the Tally. Yeah, and well, let's have a listen to It's Free and see how that sounds. Okay, nice one.
Just you and me. You got it, you want it, it's free, yeah. You're running from me in the evening. Your bag, you've flown away. If I ever catch you, then I'm sorry. 'Cause what I do be out of my brain. You got it, you want it, it's free, yeah. It's me that just don't suit. I need to be somewhere distant, somewhere I can't call a joke. I'm in the wrong town, mama. I need to be somewhere I'm not. So come on, please, won't you help me? You get me to where I belong. You got it, you want it, it's free.
Yeah, and that was It's Free. Yeah, I proper like that tune. You know what I mean? It's a nice little song that's sort of stuck in my back pocket a long time. Yeah, so I've got quite a lot of tracks to play. So I'm just trying to make this fit into an hour. You know what I mean? It looks like we might go over an hour because we're already halfway through and I ain't even nearly started to play all the tracks. All right, yeah, so what was that? It's Free, yeah, good little song. Again, simple, same as On My Mind. Simple tune, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, okay. So next up is Mum's the Word, another one of my own songs. Song about secrets or keeping secrets. I think the Fever Dogs played it in the last episode, but this is the Tally playing it. This is phase 1, I should say phase 1 Tally, because the Tally, like the Voice, it sort of went through at least 2 phases with a load of commotion in the middle. So I'm not sure exactly how I'm going to do it, but I might put it into 3 phases. But definitely 2. The latter one obviously was the better one, and we will get to that. But this month is phase 1 tally. Me and Spug, Chris and Ed so far. There will be introductions. I don't know if they're going to come in this episode. We will see. So next up is the tally playing Mum's a Word at the Purple Turtle in Camden. All right, nice one.
You told, well, all the things you told me and my confidence, baby. Me and my confidence, baby. Now I know you're the kind, that always shines, that always even when it's raining, baby. Yeah, when it's pouring, lady. Nobody knows all the things you told, all the things you told me and my confidence, baby. Me and my confidence, baby. Such a lovely life, such a place to be, such a place to be. But they're all blind. Well, they're all blind. They can't see. Whoa! Nobody knows all the things you told. Well, all the things you told me and my confidence, baby. Me and my confidence, baby. Such a lovely life, such a place to be, but they're all blind. Well, they're all blind. If they can't see, yeah. Yeah, Mom's the word, I'll keep your secrets there. Ooh, Mom's the word, I'll keep your secrets there. Yeah, Mom's the word, I'll keep your secrets there. Ooh, Mom's the word, I'll keep your secrets there. I keep your secrets, girl. Yeah, Mom's the word, I keep your secrets, girl. Yeah, Mom's the word, I keep your secrets, girl. Yeah, Mom's the word, I keep your secrets, girl.
And that was Mum's the Word. That's another simple song as well. Do you know what I mean? Like these little simple tunes. But yeah, that's good. It's all good. So yeah, that was Mum's a Word. And then the next track on the set list was a song called This Life that I co-wrote with Jamie Nicholas in the voice days. I couldn't. It was probably around phase 2. I'm not 100% sure. Old Jamie, the old bass player. Yeah. Okay. So let's just get straight into it, and then we can chat again in a minute. Okay. Sweet.
much thought it birds. Take it no more, and I can't face this no more. It's not working for me, and I can't be what I want to be. It's like a packed train stuck in your mind. It's like a packed train all the time. Been where I want to be, and I ain't seen what I want to see. I haven't done what I want to do, and I ain't even spoke to you. It's like a packed train stuck in your mind. It's like a packed train all the time.
Yeah, that was This Life. Yeah, poor old Spug. Yeah, Spuggy is a trier, I tell you, mate. He's like he started out at the beginning of all this music as just a roadie runabout sort of thing, and then he built his way through the Voice, through the Fever Dogs, and that into the Tally. And the one thing though, he always gets problems with his gear. For some reason, it's either an amp or a pedal or something just that ain't happening. And yeah, so far he's gotten alright through this gig, but that's This Life, and that is the start of the problems with his gear. Yeah. Oh well. So we will go into the next track on the list, which is Fever for the Music, which is another one of my songs. Yeah, I can remember writing this tune on my bed with my acoustic guitar, and it was the first song that I wrote where I wrote it with bar chords. Usually I just play open chords, but yeah, when I was writing this song, I was like having a go at using some bar chords, and this is what I came up with. But let's have a listen. Fever.
Being blind in the dark just looks like we're playing to an empty room in that night. Fever, come on, let's have it. We do James up here on the back of I've got a feeling deep down inside, it's such a feeling I've got to cry. Fever, yeah, fever. It wakes my morning, it ends my day, it keeps me flowing in God's way. Yeah, fever, yeah, fever. It's such a feeling deep down inside. It's such a feeling I feel alive. This music fever has got me now. All I can do is just scream and shout fever. This feeling deep down inside, it rocks my world, it stones your night. It's fever, yeah, fever. It's such a feeling deep down inside, it's such a feeling I feel alive. This music fever has got me now. All I can do is just scream and shout fever. It's such a feeling deep down inside. It's such a feeling I feel alive. This music fever has got me now. All I can do is just scream and shout fever.
Ooh, and that was Fever for the music, and Spuggy's having more trouble with his pedals. Oh, Spug. No, I mean, even though he's having trouble on that song, I mean, I like the way he plays that, you know what I mean? Yeah, I like that. That's having it, you know what I mean? The actual mix of the gig is not very good anyway, because you can't really hear the bass, and the drums ain't very loud either. But with that sort of playing by Spug, and then the bass sort of picking out the notes and stuff and giving it a little bit more melody, that's top stuff. That is good stuff. Yeah, but yeah, so, I mean, yeah, you hear me at the beginning having a pop at the crowd a bit about not being noisy enough. That might be because we wanted it as a kind of secret gig and only invited about 20 people. And, like, some of them were our mums and dads. And they're not going to start downing beers and going wild in the aisles, are they? Yeah, but... Okay, so so that was Fever, and then where are we going now? We are going to number 7. I'm Just a Lover. Yeah, I mean, if you sort of, you would have heard this song in the last episode, the last Fever Dogs episode. It's a song written. It's originally a piano riff that Spiros had And then he got it out in Scar Studios one day and started having it on the old piano, and piano. And yeah, I was just like, I heard it and I was like, I've got to write something to this, definitely. And then I was like, while he was sort of teaching the rest of the band the chords and stuff, I was sort of like at the side. Like, there used to be this shelf underneath this massive mirror in there upstairs in like their big room. I think it's all been bashed down now, Scar Studios in Hawley Road, just near to the Hawley Arms. Yeah, and I can remember with my notepad sort of being there, like, and as he was showing them the chords and that, I was sort of getting the riff in my head and then writing the lyrics to it and that, and the old vocal melody and that. But yeah, I mean, great song. As I said in the last episode, we lost Spiros, we lost the keys, you know what I mean? We lost the capability. But yeah, Spug sort of learnt it, and we was able to keep it alive, you know what I mean? Like, so yeah, let's have a listen. I wanted to say one thing about a couple of songs back, Mum's a Word. Spug's backing vocal, very dirty, I love it. Yeah, just thought I'd give him that little shout out before we move on. Anyway, let's have a listen to Mum Just a Lover, Tally Styley.
Yeah, I wrote this tune with James and Spiros. It's called I'm Just a Lover. Is there a life sweeter than mine? Is there a life I could take? Ooh. Is there a life sweeter than mine? Is there a life sweeter than mine? Some say stay away, 'cause there's a life, it's sweeter than mine. I know the reason, you got the feeling. Know the reason one time. I know the reason, you got the feeling. Know the reason two times. Unleash the Spud. Ooh. Is there a life sweeter than mine? Is there a life I could take? Is there a life sweeter than mine? Is there a life? Yeah. I know the reason, you got the feeling. Know the reason one time. I know the reason, you got the feeling. Know the reason two times. I'm just a lover, yeah. 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 Thank you.
Yes, and that was I'm Just a Lover. I absolutely love that song. I don't think I've got a recording where we're actually playing it good, but I mean, I don't think we actually ever recorded it in a proper. Oh yeah, we did with the Fever Dogs, but not with the Tally. Yeah, shame. Such a good song. Yeah, it's funny. Me mentioning it in the song, like James Till and Phil Kerrigan, two of the members of Phase 3 Voice, are there that night watching this gig at the old Purple Turtle, and it's like it was the first time that I'd seen them for quite a while, because I can remember like when the old Voice fell to bits, and like they was obviously, they had this plan in their head to go away and start something new, you know what I mean? I think they originally started a band called the Butterflies, and it was all their mates, if you know what I mean. Like, they got Tim Lane in on bass, James jumped over to rhythm, Phil was playing lead, their other mate Darren was doing the old front in the show, and then they had some lady on drums. I don't know if she was where they knew her from or whatever, but yeah, I think they just got to a place when they was thinking, hang about, John and Matty, they're from Kentish Town, we're from Islington, and then Spiros has sort of been dropped in the mix sort of from Camden, but and I think they just thought, yeah, it's time to go and make a band with our pals, which is amazing, and it is good, like, because obviously Phase 1 Voice, we was all pals, you know what I mean, like, and like, well, I mean, that fell apart, but at the time it felt good, you know what I mean, yeah. But yeah, it was funny because, like, I said about a couple of songs ago, when we was doing Fever, I could do with James up here with me, because when me and James and Phil and Spee and Matt used to do Fever for the Music, James used to do this like massive backing vocal, like Fever, like he extended the note like in the choruses, I think, and yeah, it sounded amazing, do you know what I mean? That's why I said at the Purple Turtle, I mean, just after we done, or just before we was going to do Fever, I said we could do with James up here on the old backing vocals, because yeah, that was top, like, yeah. So we will move on now to the next tune, which is Mr. Who, and this song is like, well, it's written by me, Phil and James, but Spugey, Spiros and Matty were in the room when this song was being written, and Spugey did actually give me one word, I can't even remember where, I think it was at the end of the first verse or something. I mean, it was a word that was going to be used, do you know what I mean? Like, I was just like, I was there with my notepad writing it down, and he had his head over my shoulder reading what I was writing and that, and then like he was just like, he had to get in there, he's like, yeah, I think blah blah fits there, and like I have to give it to him, you know what I mean? I didn't ask for his help, but he dropped it over my shoulder, and I have to say that I think it was probably the word that I was going to use, but we can't say that. He dropped it over my shoulder, so yes, he contributed to that song. And obviously Matty, he never used to contribute melody, lyrical, or that sort of way of the song, but obviously all the drums from the original song were done by Matty Benson, you know what I mean? But well, I can't say that we even used them drum beats, you know what I mean? Because Matty was like, he was sort of like a Keith Mooney sort of drummer in the sense that he was just like just all over the place, but amazingly all over the place, if you know what I mean. Yeah, good old Matt. If you listen to this, mate, I always love you. So Mr. Who song written by, I suppose you could say the band, because we was all in the room when it got round. But like Phil and James doing the main structuring, and then me doing lyrics and vocal melodies, and okay, so this is Mr. Who played by the Tally live at the Purple Tail.
Yeah, I think I wrote this one with James as well. There's always someone I wrote a song with in the crowd. But this one's for Cookie, because he fucking rocks. Mr. Happy and Mr. Sad, two of a kind played in different hands, as good as it gets and as bad as the rest. No time to lose if you're gonna be the best. Take me high above the rest. I wanna fly to be the best. Take me high and let me go. I wanna fly all alone. Mr. Good, Mr. Evil, I know exactly how you feel. Hands up, there's no time to lose. The life we live is the life we choose. Take me high above the rest. I wanna fly to be the best. Take me high and let me go. I wanna fly all alone. So take me high, yeah, take me high. So take me high, yeah, take me high. Thank you.
Yeah, and that was Mr. Who. I love that song. It's even better when it's played right. But that is a great song. Yeah, I can remember writing that. We was at Dollis Hill at Spiros, and his brother Dappy and Talisa was there, I think, and Fazer, is it Fazer? Richard, I'm not even sure. But we was at their studio down Dollis Hill, and this was at the time when we was actually thinking, because N-Dubs at the time, I think they was called the Lickle Rinsers, and their dad and uncle were sort of like managing them and that, and like they at that point they was close to getting a deal, you know what I mean, with Sony or whoever it was that they ended up signing with, and then Spee was like, yeah, I've joined a rock band or whatever, you know what I mean, and then I remember the dad came and he sat in the room watched us rehearse at Scar Studios, and yeah, he seemed to be pretty impressed. And then he sort of said, right, like he weren't going to full on manage us because he was sort of tied up with the Liquor Rinsers, who later changed their name to N-Dubs. But he did say that at his studio in Dollis Hill he had like a spare rehearsal room that we could rehearse in, and yeah, it man. We used to drive down there in the motors. I had my little Ford car, or KA, whatever you want to call it, and James had his Ford Sierra, red thing, and yeah, we used to drive down to Dollis Hill to the studio, like right near the railway, and then yeah, I can remember sitting in the room, like it was like the lighting in the room was really bad. It was like a dingy, dark sort of rehearsal space, you know what I mean? But it was like, it was wicked, like, and we, like, Matty's behind the kit, Spiros is behind the keys, James was on the bass and Phil's on the old guitar, and then Spugey was sort of, I don't know what he was doing at that point, a bit of a, maybe sort of like a roadie or whatever, just helping us out, do you know what I mean? Like, and then I remember I was sitting there and I was writing it in this pad, like, and I was leaning on a chair, and I can vividly remember it, and Spuggy hanging over my shoulder, and yeah, mental, mate. Yeah, good memories, good times. Yeah, so. Alright, so this gig, we've only got one tune left in the gig, and that is a song called Spinal Shiver, which is a song that I wrote back in Phase 1 Voice Days, and I wrote it with Amon. Yeah, so so that we are, what's happening? Yeah, we're over an hour already. God, I ain't even, because the tally was sort of like in two phases, but between the phases there was a lot of commotion. So I think I'm gonna, in the next episode, I'll play less songs, I think, and I'll go through the commotion and all that. But let's have a listen to Spinal Shiver. And then I will give you a short CHAP TAIL. I think I've got a couple of short ones in the bag. It might actually, the one I'm thinking of using, it goes with this, but I might have sort of told it in the early episodes, but yeah, who cares? I'll tell it again. Yeah, let's listen to Spinal Shiver, and then we'll have a little chat, and then I will do one.
Tell you a story, this is where it begins. It's about this little lady, she's got a pair of wings. She flies around my head, swamping me at night. But at the end of the day, she just makes me want to fight. She sends shivers down my spine. She is the one I need to find. Yeah, she's the teacher of good and evil. Yes, my brother. Take a look at me. Don't you wanna be it? Take a look at me now. Take a look at me. You can look for free, yeah. Take a look at me now. So now I've got her, we're all linked up, we're ready to roll. But you know there's only one thing on my mind. I want to take her away somewhere peace and quietly and show her what the real Chapman's all about. Lady, won't you be my mistress and take me by the hand? Lead me to your little bedroom where we can start to fuck around. Sorry, Mum. Take a look at me. Don't you wanna be it? Take a look at me now. Take a look at me. You can look for free, yeah. Take a look at me now. Me up. We know where we're going. We're gonna run. When I'm with her, it feels like I'm gonna lift the World Cup. She's all you need. She down my spine. She is the one that I need to find. She sends a spinal shiver down my spine. She is the one that I need to find. She sends a shiver down my spine. She is the one that I need to find. She sends a spinal shiver down my spine. She is the one that I need to find. Nobody saw me take me. Everybody thinks they know, but they don't know. They don't know. She sends a shiver down my spine. She is the one that I need to find. She sends a shiver down my spine. She is the one that I need to find. See you next Friday at Blue Cheese. Love you.
And that was Spinal Shiver. Do you know what? That was a new thing that we added to that song, like the speaking bit and all that. And I'm happy that we got it on tape, because I don't think anyone's going to remember that, not even Spug. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's mental, like that little speaking bit. Like, it's cool though. Yeah, I like it. Might have to use it in the future. Yeah. Well, that was, I don't know how many songs I've done there, 9 or something. Yeah, 9 song sets, something like that. But yeah, that was one of our first gigs, second gig maybe, at the Purple Turtle down the bottom of Cam. I don't even think it's called the Purple Turtle anymore. It's something else. It's I ain't got a clue. I can't remember. Yeah. I mean, in my head, this episode I was expecting to jump through this gig, and then I've got some tracks from the next gig, or the one after the next gig we did, because you can hear me announce that we're playing Belushi's Friday. So it was the Bull and Gate, and it was after Belushi's. Yeah, so I've got some songs from that, and I even spoke about any commotion in the band. Do you know what I mean? I ain't even done the CHAP TAIL yet. But yeah, there's a lot of controversy and stuff that I'm gonna save it for January's ish episode. Yeah, but yeah. So I mean, this is sort of an introduction to the tally. So far you've got me on lead vocals, bit of rhythm guitar, Spugs doing lead guitar, and then you got Chris. His name was Chris Horlock, but he liked to be called Chrismatic. Yeah, he was on the old bass at this point, and Ed is on drums. But again, the tally was sort of like the Voice in the way that it was sort of 3 or 4 bands, and I just called them all the tally or whatever. But maybe I should have sort of changed names. But we'll get into all the controversy and all the madness in the next episode. But yeah, but so it is. We're in December. It's like the 10th now. I've sort of been recording this over 2 sittings, if you like. But it's Christmas is upon us, and when you hear this, it'll be just after Christmas Day. But yeah, and we're going through this mad rubbish with coronavirus, and I know that the vaccines just sort of popped up and people have started having the vaccine, but now we're hearing that people with allergies, it might not be good for them. It's just nuts. It's mad. Do you know what I mean? I'm not going to get into any politics though, because I'm not a politician. You know what I mean? But I will leave you with a CHAP TAIL. It's actually a tale that happened at the Purple Turtle on the night of this gig. But yeah, and then I will see you all. I will speak to you all, in January. But I'd just like to say Merry Christmas. I hope you all have had an amazing time. I'm going down to a local pub this year with my family. I don't know how it's going to be, socially distanced with screens up, but I'm sure we'll have a lovely time, and I hope all of you have a lovely time. Do you know what I mean? And let's hope end of next year, next Christmas, this will be like a memory, and we can all get back to some life. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's been a hard year, not going to any live gigs, and it was quite good actually the other night, because I got to watch old Liam on the old River Thames doing a gig on a boat. Yeah, and that was pretty good. £16.50 though, and you don't get to watch it more than once. Yeah, nuts. But so I'll leave you with this CHAP TAIL, and yeah, Merry Christmas. Loads of love, and yeah, speak to you soon. Nice one.
CHAP TAILs, don't you wanna hear some CHAP TAILs?
Yeah, okay, so this episode's CHAP TAIL is a tale that I think I might have done this tale like in one of the early episodes. It wouldn't have been named a CHAP TAIL, it just would have been a little story I told you. But I'll tell it again because it happened on the night of this gig, or before the gig even. But yeah, it's just like a little funny story. So yeah, so we was headlining that night, so that means last on stage, but it also means first sound check at like 4 o'clock or something ridiculous, like compared to like a 10 o'clock stage time, you know what I mean? It's like 6 hours. People ever expect a band is going to get to 10 o'clock from 4 o'clock without being out there? I'll never know. But anyway, right, so we arrive at the venue, we're setting up on stage ready to do our sound check, you know what I mean? So you've got like Chris, Ed, Spug and myself on the stage, and then in the venue itself there was 2 people. There was a girl behind the bar getting ready, like she was a barmaid or whatever, and she was sorting everything out for the night, like getting all the optics refilled and you know what they do, you know what I mean? And then obviously you had the sound man who was up in some cradle, I don't know what it was just like a little sound booth that was like up at the back of the room, like up higher. Anyway, so we're on the stage and we're doing, getting, you know, like he's like, all right, drummer, tap the snare, and boring things like that. But anyway, and then you get round to a stage where he's like, right, do us a song. So I ain't got a clue what song he's playing, but one of the songs, probably out of the set, to tell you the truth. So we're doing a song, whatever, we're about halfway through, everything's going all right and that, and like, where I've got bad eyes, you know what I mean? Now I'm registered blind, but back then it was just one of them things where I was just like, everyone has trouble now and again, you know what I mean? And I didn't really have that much trouble, but in dark situations I did anyway. And it's a little bit dark in there because obviously, like, early they didn't want to turn all the lights on and have it looking like it's booming from outside or whatever. But so we're on the stage and we're playing the song or whatever, yeah, and I've got the mic in my hand, which I don't do that often, but so I'm walking around on the stage with the mic in my hand, not like on the mic stand or whatever. And then so I've walked to the left, and in the Purple or whatever it's called now, that venue, to the left of the stage is like a staircase that goes down to a fire exit, and I'm walking along the stage, like not really paying that much attention, and obviously it's dark, so I probably didn't even notice. But it's mental. I walked straight off the side of the stage and fell down into the fire exit. How I didn't proper hurt myself, I don't know. But I sort of like, I hurt myself a bit, but it weren't like no madness or whatever. I was just like sort of like shook my head, like, oh my god, like I was down there with the mic on the lead still and all that, like, and I can hear that the band are still full on it, you know what I mean? They're still playing the song proper, like, so I'm thinking they ain't noticed or they don't give a toss, you know what I mean? So anyway, so I got up, sort of brushed myself down a bit, whatever, picked the mic up, and then I've walked up the stairs back into the venue, like, and then I just sort of climbed back on the stage, and then it came to the last chorus. I sang the last chorus, and then that was the end of the song. And then, like, after everyone had stopped, and like that was the end of our sound check or whatever, everyone's putting their guitars away and all that. No one said, "Are you all right?" or whatever, and I was like, "What's going on here?" Like, and I'm looking at the girl who's behind the bar, like, and she just had this little smile on her face, you know what I mean? Like, so I was thinking, yeah, you know what's happened, didn't you? But I swear to God, the rest of the band did not see a thing, and the sound man, I ain't got a clue what he was doing, like, because he's probably had his head in mixers and faders and pots, do you know what I mean, turning things or whatever. But yeah, so he ain't seen, the band ain't seen, and the barmaid's like smiling at me, so I'm thinking, yeah, she's definitely seen this, like, you know what I mean, like. And then, but it was funny because, like, after we come off the stage, like, Spug's like, oh, let's have a drink. So we went over to this barmaid, like, who wouldn't serve us actually because it was too early or something. But it weren't like she said to me, do you know what I mean? Like, are you all right or whatever? Like, I don't know, I ain't got a clue. But yeah, that is a little chap tale that nobody knew about on the night, apart from maybe the barmaid. But yeah. So I fell off the stage and fell down the stairs, and then climbed back up the stairs, jumped back on the stage, and carried on with the song. You know what I mean? And I will never know if that barmaid or even one of the band members, and they just didn't care that I'd hurt myself or whatever, knew about what had just happened. But yeah, so that's the chap tale for this episode. Yeah, so Merry Christmas. I hope you all have a top time, and I will speak to you all in January. Nice one.
Ho, ho, ho! Merry Chapmas, everybody. Hope that it makes you happy. Merry Chapmas,